This is Kamal, policeabuse.com. I'm taking an expert witness statement. I'm talking right now to Glenn eBay. He was mistreated by the police in an encounter that has gone on for several months, and it's also now costing him some property. Mr. eBay, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us what happened to you and why you contacted policeabuse.com?
Yes, sir. I was notified that my ex-wife had been arrested and wanted to be bonded out, so I made phone calls to the sheriff's department to find out her bond, called bail bondsman to make arrangements to go down to the Rapides Parish to meet with the bondsman to see about a bond. And after I got to Rapides Parish and called for the bail bondsman, I have on my cell phone and my house phone copies of the phone calls that were made, clearly showing the sheriff departments and the bail bonds numbers. And I was waiting. One of her friends offered to give some money for her bond, so I was waiting on him to get home from work and to get the money and the bond, and get in touch with the bond and wait on his call. And before I could, right after the last phone call from the bondsman, the sheriff department raided up into Travis LaCraw's house.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop you there. You're at your friend's house. His name is Travis?
Travis LaCraw, yes, sir.
Okay, and he was going to help out with some money to bail your wife out. Is it your ex-wife, right?
Right. He had offered $400 toward her bond.
Okay, so you were over at his house visiting, waiting for him to come up with the money.
Right, waiting for him to get home. He said he had to finish a job. He was taking some trees down. He had to finish a job, and he'd have the money that afternoon.
Okay. Now, at the time you were over at his house, were you committing any sort of a crime? Were you dealing drugs? Were you jumping a fence? What were you doing at his house?
No, I was waiting on him to get there. I was visiting with his girlfriend, Heather Beebe, and waiting on him to get off of work. Two guys that he works with already had just showed up right before the police showed up, and said that he would be there in just a little bit. And then the phone rang, which was his daughter calling his girlfriend, and his girlfriend makes a remark, there's 7 SUVs, police coming down this direction. So the guys he worked for got up and left. And I told her, I said, do you have anything around here? She said, there's nothing here. So I was fine with it. I had no reason to be worried about anything. I didn't know of any drugs. I didn't have drugs. Didn't have drugs on me or in my automobile or anything. I was there strictly about getting the $400 and waiting on the bondsman to get Donna out of jail, which is my children's mama.
Okay, hold on. Where were you waiting? Were you outside or inside?
I was inside at first, and then I walked outside. I was outside when the police were coming down the road.
Okay, hold on. You were outside. You said you were outside when the police were coming down the road. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Were you visible to them in the yard?
No, sir. I was in the backyard in the edge of the guy's shop, at the door where you go into his shop.
Okay. All right. Now, while you're out there, were you doing anything illegal?
No, sir.
Okay. And you don't live there?
No, sir, I don't.
Are you responsible in any way for that property?
No, sir. Not
Okay.
at all.
Have you ever stayed there for any length of time?
No, sir. I have been there to visit some, and I sold him some motorcycle parts that from my old motorcycle. He had a motorcycle wreck, and I had brought him motorcycle parts and helped him a little bit in the past on working on the motorcycle.
Okay. So now the police show up and tell me what happens from there. And actually, what was the date when all this happened?
January the 16th, about 6 p.m. in the afternoon.
Of this year?
Yes, sir, this year.
Okay. All right. January 16th, about 6 p.m., the police show up in all these SUVs. What police department showed up?
Rapides Parish.
Rapides Parish. And where is that located?
In Alexandria, Louisiana.
Okay. All right. So tell me what happened from there.
Okay, when I seen the SUVs coming down the road, which was right there at his house, I was at the shop. I took off in the edge of the woods just to see what was going on, and he, just squatted down and was watching. Well, they come from everywhere, all around the house and everything, and they come up to where I was at. They tried to say I run from them when they approached me, but I didn't, And then whenever he seen me, he told me to lay down on the ground, so I lay down on the ground, and he asked what my name was. I told him Glenn Eby, and he said, Dago? And I said, well, I've been called that before. And this cop hollers out, hey, we have the legendary Dago Eby here. And that's when 2 of the cops jumped down on me with their knees in my back, grabbed my arm, twisted it, pulled it behind my back, and one kicked me in the side side of the head, kicked me in the ribs, and then they handcuffed me. And I guess the one that handcuffed, they sat on the back of me and hit me in the back of the head 2 or 3 times.
Okay, let me stop you there. They said we have the legendary Dago. Is that some nickname that the police came up with, or did you have a nickname?
That is my nickname. That's a nickname that I was born and raised there, and I moved away from there 9 years ago, and that's just an old nickname of mine. It was more or less a street name.
Okay, so they said that a legendary Dago, and they were implying that you're some major drug dealer or something?
Apparently so, because the cop accused me of robbing a pipeline manufacturing crystal meth. He kept saying over and over, yeah, we know you robbed the pipeline for this ammonia to make crystal meth. I told him I knew nothing of it. You know.
Okay, have you ever been convicted as a major drug dealer in Louisiana?
No, sir. In 1984, I got busted. I sold a bag of pot in '84 to an undercover cop, and I went to prison for distribution for 4 years.
For a bag of pot?
Yes, sir.
Tell me exactly how much.
A quarter ounce.
You sold a quarter ounce, and they sent you to jail for 4 years?
4 years, yes, sir.
And other than that, you don't have any other major arrests involving drug sales?
I've got the possession of that pound of crystal meth on me now that they have on me.
Okay, well that's from the incident on the 16th, right?
On the January 16th. Yes,
okay,
sir.
but what I'm saying is, from the time that from January 16th before that date, when you had been arrested, the only major incident was this one bag of pot. That's the only thing that they could refer to, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In 1984, all the stuff that I've been into in '84 in the past.
Okay, and so for them, that one bag of pot made you a major drug dealer in the area.
I reckon.
Okay, so now they come out. So now they come out here on the 16th, and they've got this major drug dealer Dago in front of them. Okay, could you have gotten away if you wanted to?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. The 2 guys that was there before, they got in their vehicle and left before the police got there.
And you stayed because you didn't think you committed any crime, and you didn't see any problem.
Right. If I knew, I even asked the girl Heather, and she said there was nothing there. If she had said, "Yeah, we have drugs here," I would have left immediately too. I mean.
Okay, well, but it wasn't your property, right? It wasn't your property, is that right?
Right. It wasn't my property, exactly.
Okay, well, let's get to the point about these officers who are using force and kicking you. At the time that they approached you, did you cooperate with what they told you to do?
Oh yeah, they told me to lay down on the ground. I laid down face first on the ground. Just like they told me to do. I know better. I had an incident before that police had jumped on me because of who I was and accused me of being a rat for Ronnie Sellers, which is a retired major for the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Department. But he's my cousin. He's my he's relatives. And they beat me up. Alexander City beat me up pretty good. And I went to the hospital and. But the charges was dropped. I'd done a polygraph test for Ronnie Sellers through the Sheriff's Department and showed I was innocent. Charges was dropped, and the judge still accused me of and my daughter being at fault.
Well, let me get back. Let me get back to this incident. When you were on the ground, did you have any weapons?
No, sir.
Did you try to hurt an officer or take an officer's weapon?
No, sir.
Did you do anything
like they told me to do?
Okay. Did you say anything that might be considered hostile, offensive, or threatening?
Stop, you're hurting me.
Okay, the only thing you did was ask them to stop hurting you.
Yeah, I told them I was disabled. I told them I was a disabled person with a heart condition. And please, y'all stop, y'all hurting me.
How many times were you struck or kicked?
Now, after that one cop kicked me in the head, I was pretty dingy there, but I remember him one of them sitting on me and hit me like back and forth with the left and right hand, probably 3 or 4 times. And I remember getting kicked also by the cop standing up, I guess, on my side, maybe once or twice.
Okay.
I was pretty dingy because the cop told me after he raised me up, he told me, and I was my real rubber leg, and my chest was hurting me, and he told me, he said, if you fall out on me, they go and body slam you.
So they were continuing to make threats even after they had you handcuffed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to report this to the Justice Department, and I want to be quite clear about the facts here. When they struck you, you were already in handcuffs, or you were not resisting, you were already under submission and under control, correct?